This was a really good question here, and I want to talk about this one. Somebody asked, how do you like to present your options to a seller? Email, print, do you use Excel and things like that? No.
I make my offers to the seller on the back of the contract.
Back of the contract, right?
Like, now, seriously, my papa always told me that this paper will lay there and let you write whatever you want to on it. On the front side is a contract, and on the back side is all my offers. And you know what that does? I can look at these and I can write, 3 columns. Here's cash offer, here's a 5-year offer, and here's a 10-year offer. And here's everything in the meantime. Which one do you want? And then they pick. And then I flip it over and I fill out the contract for the one that they picked. Now, if I need to go back and renegotiate, I say, where's the contract? And flip it over. And I can say, okay, we can do this one, or we can still do this one, or somewhere in between. But it's just right there on paper for them. I am not a fancy person, okay? That KISS method, keep it simple, stupid, that was written for me, okay? Keep it as simple and as plain and as regular English as you can. It does not need to be fancy. And he is the king of over fancying it.
When I first started, being too formal and being too buttoned up was actually one of my shortfalls and detriments.
It was a yeah.
Because what I found out, and for those of you that have attended our webinar, some of the things we talked about is when you use bandit signs, handwrite them. We have tried this over and over and over and over again, and every time, handwritten signs have always produced better than ones we had professionally printed.
You want to hear a funny story about bandit signs?
Hang on just a minute. Same thing with writing offers and things like that. I went in and created a nice PowerPoint landscape. It had borders. It had my logo and stuff, embedded in the back and everything with watermarks and all kinds of fun stuff on it. And guess what?
Overkill.
It was overkill. People felt like then they were dealing with a professional. They were dealing
a professor.
Well, I even had one guy tell me, he said something, he goes, how many of these you do? This all looks really formal.
We don't work like that out here. I just want to sign it on the car hood. Let's do it. Let's go.
And unfortunately, the bigger you are, the more people think that you're going to take advantage of them. I mean, that's just kind of the world that we live in.
That's why I'm glad to be 5'3".
So if you're simple, you're pushing it 5'3". But just be simple. You don't have to be
yourself.
Fancy.
Be comfortable. Be happy. If you want that big presentation, then do it until they tell you to stop.
People want a personal touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
They want to know you're a real person and that you're really on their side and on their team.
They just do. And that's, those of you that have taken, different courses and things like that, that. Okay. I've gone and sat in rooms with 500 to 1,000 other people and listened to somebody speak and got the workbook and all that type of stuff.
Oh, speaking of workbooks,
and
they're ready.
I've done okay in some of that, but the ones where I've really thrived were when I had more one-on-one and the person could actually be a real person. And they didn't have to sit there and be structured and corporate and things like that.
And this is coming from Mr. Corporate.
That was a big eye-opening experience to me. So, funny story, I actually tried to take some of what I was learning in my side deal with real estate and take it back to my corporate job and say, well, hey, maybe this works both ways. Maybe I can go and be less corporate. Used to, most of you can see I'm clean shaven now. Yeah. We went to a wedding and everything. I thought that it was a big deal. So one of the things I did was I grew a beard and everything was okay. I thought everything was good until I walked into our CEO's office one day because we were sitting there prepping for a board meeting, and he calls his executive assistant Denise in, and he says, Denise, can you go to Dollar Shave Club and look up Jason's address and get it actually shipped to his house so that he has the right utensils every day. So, sometimes things that work in your entrepreneurial business world don't always translate over to corporate and vice versa.
Look, you're going to have to become a real estate rock star with Jason East, because I got another call to get on. We got to go. Ask Wednesday is over.
You wanted to say something about Bandit Sons.
Listen, 80%. Well, I'll just save that story for another time now.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, y'all.
All right. Hate to cut it short. If you have any other questions, save them to next week. Or if you're in group, go ahead and book your speed coaching call, and we'll cover it tomorrow. And we try to scroll through and get the questions, but for those of you that are actually commenting in the thread about that, that is wonderful, because then we make sure that we don't miss those. So hope y'all have a good afternoon. We're out of here. Bye, y'all.